I remember going with my dad to an Eagles game to the old Vet Stadium. So this is this is a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
And walking through there, I don't know how old I must have been, maybe 8 or 10, I'm not sure. And in the men's restroom, sitting on the sink, is a Yocco's cup. I was like, how did that even get here? Yeah, I couldn't believe it.
Welcome to YMI Talking, a podcast where the guests are so good, you'll wonder why the host is even talking. In each episode, you will hear one of the leaders of the Lehigh Valley's vibrant business hub. They will tell you the keys to their success, the mistakes they've made, and what they have in store for the future. Here is the host of YMI Talking, from YMI Insurance, Jimmy Honachik.
All right, that is me, Jimmy Honachik, and we are back with what's probably going to be the greatest episode of all time.
Probably.
Emily Ellis, thank you for joining me.
Of course.
And Mr. Hot Dog Man, thank you for joining me.
I like his shoes.
I didn't even really pay attention. I like everything about him, though. So our guest today is Chris Iacocca from Yocco's, and he brought me this little hot dog man, which is from their 80th anniversary.
Yeah.
And they are like, what, 103?
Yeah, I think he said 104. So,
Okay,
yeah.
So this guy's 24 years old.
He's older than me. That's crazy.
That is crazy.
Wow.
So he's really a collector's item. And that's great because I love Yocco's. I grew up like in the Poconos, but with a family who's from the Lehigh Valley. And so my parents were all about Yocco's. And anytime we would come down here, we would get Yocco's. And so this episode was really just a dream of mine.
Yeah, it was really cool. He had so many good stories.
Yeah. How about like truly God wanted Yocco's to happen?
Yeah.
And I'm just teasing that. I'm not going to say any more. You're going to have to listen to the episode to find out what that means.
To the very end.
But it's really true. And just, the stories of people who, love Yocco's and have grown up on Yocco's, who have named their dogs Yocco. I really love this episode and I really love Yocco's. Yeah. I'm literally, as soon as we're done with this segment,
I need one.
I'm leaving here and going to Yocco's. And I'll get some pierogies.
Oh yeah, I want to try the pierogies.
I really, really failed as a podcast host today because I meant to talk about their pierogies and I didn't.
Next time you see him, you'll tell him.
I will tell him, yes. All right. Well, I'm out of here so I can go to Yocco's.
All right.
And you are listening to Chris Iacocca talk about Yocco's. All right. We've had some like celebrities in here before, right? Mm-hmm. And I love them and they're awesome and they're really great. But this is the most hyped I think I've ever been for an episode. I love to eat. My family's from Allentown. I grew up loving, adoring, and just everything you can imagine about Yocco's hot dogs. And we have one of the Yoccos here. Chris Iacocca, thank you so much for coming on here.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to be here. Thank you for considering me a celebrity.
Oh my gosh.
I've seen some of your other interviews and the list is quite pretty cool. So I'm glad to be included in that list of people.
The list is pretty cool, but now we have hit officially very cool. So, I mean, let's start at the beginning. Yocco's is truly an institution here in Allentown and the Lehigh Valley. Everyone knows it. And how did it get started?
Well, so there's a couple really good stories in that. Obviously, we have been around officially since 1922. And, kind of started a couple different iterations, right? My great-grandfather, when he came over from Italy, was here for a bit and he got to know some people and they lived in Allentown, right? And there were two different groups of people. There were the Germans and the Italians, the Dutch, they all kind of lived in that same area. Anyway, and then he had somebody who he knew that had a corner store, like a little cigar shop, a convenience store, you would kind of call it now. And he took that over from that person and kind of started the business like that and sort of took it off from there.
Did it start as a hot dog company then?
No, it very much did not. And actually, if you go into any of our stores, you'll see that up on the wall we have like a black and white photograph, and it's my great grandfather. And actually, the little boy sitting at the counter is actually my grandfather.
Wow.
It's sitting there. So yeah, that's a really dated picture. And actually, on the background, you can see there's a calendar with a date on it. But if you look at the picture, there is hot dogs to be seen, but sold everything from cigars and candy and little treats and whatever. It was essentially a convenience store. The business started out that way. And the story that I've always been told and that has been sworn to me to be truth is that he had the store, was running for a few years. And one day, a woman came in, a beautiful woman, of course, as the story goes, and asked if he'd had any hot dogs for sale. And he did not. And so she said, kind of like with like a mischievous wink, as I've been told, that she would come back the next day if he did. And so he ran out and got a grill and ran over to A&B Meats, which was a meat supplier in Allentown, and got some hot dogs, which were kind of a new thing at the time.
Wow.
And got those. They took off, and my great grandmother actually is the one who created our famous chili sauce recipe. It started out selling hot dogs. There was, a lot of manufacturing in the area at the time, and it was open very late and very early, which was the trick, because there were people that were coming off, and it was kind of like a stopping off snack place, for people that were coming or going from the various manufacturing shifts in the area. And that's kind of how that happened.
That's awesome. There are so many directions I want to take this right now. The first is, you mentioned being open late and early is kind of being, the secret to success. Walk me through, that, right? Like, was it somewhere you would go to just get a hot dog? Could you get a hot dog and a beer? Like, how did it work back then?
So the original place, which unfortunately is not there anymore, it was actually down the street on Liberty Street. It's not there anymore. I don't think they had beer to begin with there, though. Our next store that we opened up, that we actually moved it to in the 40s, which was the oldest store we'd been operating for a long time on Liberty Street. And they actually did sell beer and stuff there. Yes, I worked there many times, and that was an interesting part. But the beer wasn't really a development for us. But one of the interesting beverages that we did sell, though, was A-Treat soda. And we had always started that way back in the beginning. And in fact, in that black and white photograph, you'll see that there's an A-Treat sign on the wall behind them. And so we're excited that we now sell A-Treat now that has kind of had a great revitalization, which I love it, because I always had that as a kid, and I missed it when it went away for a little bit. We have A-Treat birch beer on tap that they have for us, and we're the only place in the valley that you can get birch beer on tap, other than I think some of Janel's other restaurants. But we're the only restaurant that has it on tap at the moment. That's very cool. It's so cool that to hear you with A-Treat, like all these different truly Lehigh Valley brands, but you guys have been there since day one, sort of. Do you feel that legacy? I do feel that legacy. It's it's tough. It's a mantle that we wear with pride. People consider us an Allentown tradition, and I say, oh man, that's wild to think about. I grew up as a kid. One of my earliest introductions to the business was working at the Allentown Fair. When you're a kid, you get to do that kind of thing when it's your family business, right? Yeah. So we got to work there and be a part of that. And that was really my first introduction to, hey, this is kind of like people are really into this. I remember thinking that as a kid. My father didn't actually take over the business until a bit later, because my grandfather was still running it at the time, but my dad always did the fair. I did that for a long time. And from there, the business Yocco's is such like a beloved part of Lehigh Valley. It's kind of crazy to me, because I think people really love it. They think about Allentown, they think about hot dogs, and that's crazy to me. But we're excited to be a part of it.
And you are. When we moved back to the valley, or back to the Lehigh Valley area, the first thing I made us do as a family was go get a set of hot dogs from Yocco's for everyone. Because it feels like home when you're here.
I hear that a lot. And I always love hearing those stories. We get, a phone call or an email, or someone will come in and say something like that. Hey, we have a place up at by the Lehigh Valley Airport, right? Yeah. And I hear all the time, I got off the plane and I didn't even go to the hotel first. Come in with my bag. We go straight to Yocco's and get some food. And I love hearing that because it's great.
Yeah. Do you have any diehard? Like everyone obviously loves Yocco's, although we're going to talk Yocco's pots at some point if you're okay with that.
That's fine.
Okay.
Because you can't really talk about hot dogs in any way in Lehigh Valley without acknowledging all of them.
And is there any rivalry? Like, do you talk to the Potts people, or do you guys never talk to each other? And
I mean, we certainly talk and we see each other. They're a great, they're a great business. I think one of the things that I always laugh about, there's so much stuff online, right?
Yeah.
The online community when it comes to hot dogs is wild.
It is.
It is like the Wild West out there. People are throwing shots left and right, sometimes on our behalf, which is great. Sometimes at us, which is okay too, because you know what? That's fine. I'm glad people are talking about it.
Yeah.
There is such a great amount of variety of hot dog places out there. I think you should try them all. I've probably tried them all in the area for sure.
Yeah.
There is this weird, almost like a belt of hot dog places in the area here. You can up from Scranton and kind of get down south more.
Right.
You've got like Coney Island and Abe's up in the Scranton area, and they've got us and Potts, and there used to be more.
Yeah.
It's less now than there were.
The hot dog highway, if you will.
Yeah. Somebody should make a map for that. That would be fun.
Yeah.
But there's so many good places out there, little mom and pop shops, that have great products. And, I encourage everybody to go out and try all different places. I love our fans and I love the loyalty, but give them all a try. There's lots of good places out there.
I love that. But let's turn back to Yocco's because that's what it's about. It is the chili dog, right? It is you said your great grandmother made the recipe?
Yes.
What is it about the chili dog that really makes it?
So it's a secret family recipe, so I can't give away too much.
Okay.
But it is.
Is it hidden somewhere where
it is in fact hidden somewhere. I do have the original recipe is in a safe.
So this is like Coca-Cola keeping it in a vault, like you guys have.
Yeah, it's very, very.
Could you release clues on where it is, and I can try to find it?
It's inside the Lehigh Valley somewhere.
Okay. All right.
So it's it's a special blend of spices and meat, and it is. I think the way we make it too has a lot to do with it. It is still handmade by my dad and I. We are still the only two people that go in and do it. So every week we make quite a bit of it.
Really?
We go through quite a bit. So we still do that by hand. It's got a little kick to it, which is nice. And we sometimes have issue like when people come up from south and they hear chili, they think they're going to get this big, meaty, beans and real thick, like a con carne type of thing. But it's more of a sauce. It was supposed to be like a flavoring to the hot dog. It's not supposed to overpower it. It's a blend between the mustard and the onions and the sauce and the dog. You're supposed to be able to taste everything. It's not just supposed to be like slap on there. But it's a recipe of blend of spices and.
It's 1:13 in the afternoon, and I'm listening to you describe Yocco's hot dogs, and I couldn't be hungrier than I am right now. So the sauce obviously is critical. Talk to me, about the dog itself, the buns. I would imagine those are also very important parts of this.
Well, since you mentioned it, I did bring myself a little, support guy there for reference. So hopefully it doesn't make you too much more hungry. I can't. There you go.
I love that.
But the dog itself is something special as well, right? It's a dog that's made for us.
Really?
Yep. You can't buy it out in the stores or anything like that.
Wow.
And there's been a couple of iterations of that over the years. Like I said before, we started out buying from A&B Meats, which is an Allentown meat supplier, and they got bought by so and so and so and so and on and on. But the recipe has changed very little. Used to come in cardboard boxes back in the 20s, and they got a little bit better about their production now. So some good changes for sure. But the hot dog itself has remained pretty much the same.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And, the bread is important as well. We have a great bakery great Pennsylvania bakery. And, the process is what it's really all about, right? Because it's not just one of those things.
Yeah.
It's a blend of the bun and the dog and the spices and the mustard and the onions. And then, of course, the way we do it, put it all together.
Well, I was going to say the way you do it, like you walk into Yocco's and it feels special, right? Like you almost feel like you're walking back in time to a different era. And the people there are incredible. Like, how do you think about the actual experience in the store?
So I get this a lot, that it's like, well, hey, I thought I would go in and you don't have any kiosks anywhere that I can order from. They're like shocked to see a person. They're like, wait, I got to talk to a person and give a human my order. That is obviously going away, but that's not something that's ever going to go away for us.
Yeah.
That interaction is so important. It's such a part of the process for us that we feel, creates that experience for people. And two, it's like, you've come in with your dad, you brought your kids, that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
That goes back and back. I hear all the time, I used to come in with my dad and his grandfather, or I bring my friends who come here. And we want people to have that sort of same nostalgic experience that they experienced when they were younger or whatnot. We don't want, we're never going to go full digital, giving your order to an AI or something like that. That's never going to be us. That kind of weirds some people out, but that we're proud of that, and we like having that interaction with the customers. And I think the customers like that too.
100%. And that goes back to, the rabid fans that you have.
Oh yeah.
Any stories of, bumping into someone who loves Yocco's?
I bet not a week goes by that I don't get an email or something from somebody. There's stuff online you can find too. People get tattoos. The little guy, they love this little guy.
Does he have a name?
Just the hot dog guy.
Honestly,
he's always just been the hot dog guy.
Yeah.
We have there's some old statues in the store.
Yeah.
And obviously our shirts have him on it, and he's always been our mascot. And I don't know what it is about him. The classic. This is sort of a nicer, cartoonish version, but the original version was a little bit more, menacing with his pitchfork.
Yeah.
And kind of a smirk on there and the crown. And that just really resonates with a lot of people. So I know
you always kind of wonder what he's up to.
Yeah. Tattoos. We get fans that come in. Just the other day, somebody came in with their dog. Like, this is my dog, Yocco.
No way.
yeah, that's a good one too.
Was it a wiener dog?
No.
Oh, missed opportunity.
It's a missed opportunity. But there's got to be somebody out there. So if you send it to me, if you've got a wiener dog out there, send it to me.
Please, yeah.
But we have fans that are just so great, and they take the Yocco's name all over the place. We're known worldwide, as we say. We've had servicemen take it on tour. Iraq and all of it. We have got some great pictures. People taking stuff and sending care packages. People freeze them and take them with them overseas when they go places. So we have those maps up in our stores, and a lot of people think that's all the Yoccos that are there out in the world, which I would love for that to be the case. That would be great. But no, it's just the ones in Lehigh Valley. But those are all the places that people have taken the food and enjoyed it. There's really not a place that I can go where somebody doesn't somehow find me or hear something and say, like a great, I'll tell you two stories.
Yeah.
The first one is when I first realized that one of my first realizations as a kid that this was like a big thing to people was I remember going with my dad to an Eagles game to the old Vet Stadium. So this is this is a long time ago. And walking through there, I don't know how old I must have been, maybe 8 or 10, I'm not sure. And in the men's restroom, sitting on the sink, is a Yocco's cup. And I was like, how would that even get here?
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it. But that's a good one. Or most recently, as being having an Uber, and the guy's like, "Oh, where are you from?" "From Allentown." "Oh, that's great. There's this hot dog place up there that I love. I don't know if you've ever heard of it, called Yocco's." I'm like, "Yeah, I've heard of it a few times. I think I've been there once." They're just everywhere, and that's just great.
Yeah.
Love hearing those stories. Love that it's a thing like that. And hopefully we can keep that going for another 100 years, because I think that it's something special for people. People outside the Lehigh Valley tend to not get it, but they do get it eventually. I think you said earlier about taking friends and from out of town. And I think it's Yocco's is a part of what makes the Lehigh Valley, I think, great. But it's a representation of what makes a valley great, right? It's not just Yocco's. It's the traditions, it's the people, it's the food. It's that mentality that makes the Lehigh Valley great.
That is a soundbite. You better mark that down. That was awesome. I have to ask, so we talked you just talked about the legacy from a brand perspective, from a Lehigh Valley perspective. Sure. What about fourth generation, right? You track it down and it was your great grandfather and then your grandfather and your dad and then you. Do you feel the weight of that?
Oh, absolutely. I think there's a statistic out there and I'll probably get the exact number wrong, but it's something like 80% of businesses don't make it to the second generation, and then like 12% of those make it to the third generation. Yep. So here we are, I'm fourth generation.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of that is a testament to the people who've come before me. Mm-hmm. And so, it is just a little bit of pressure to, to keep that going. But the business itself is strong and has such a foothold that really it's about making sure that we stay current in the way we operate so we can keep giving people that older traditional version of stuff.
Yeah.
You got to meet up with the times a little bit, but there's a lot. My dad, who he and I run the business together, did a lot of work, getting the business from a point in, after the 80s and the 90s, really powered it through it and brought it up to the modern generation.
Yeah.
It takes a lot of work to keep something going.
Mm-hmm.
And, you want to do a good job and you want to be able to, keep it how it's been, but also still current.
Yeah. And that's gotta be a tough balance. And I think it being a family dynamic probably makes it even tougher.
Working with family is always fun.
Yes. As someone who has gone through it myself.
Yes.
Walk me through that. I mean, you're coming with, hey, we should probably modernize in this sort of way. And I could be talking out of turn, but Dad's like, hey, we've done it this way forever.
Oh, for sure. Well, I mean, we were cash only everywhere up until only like within the last 3 years or so. Pre-COVID, we were still cash only, and COVID really kind of kicked it through that we had to go kind of everybody was going cashless. And so we sort of brought it up to speed there. There's a lot of challenges with that. For sure. But, we have a pretty good relationship. And so we work hard at striking that balance between getting some new stuff. We always have a couple of new things coming out there and technology is getting crazy. Like I said, we're never going to go AI or anything like that, but we take credit cards now. So I joked that the first day that we took credit cards at the first store, the first guy paid with tap to pay, Apple Pay. And I was like, boy, talk about a metaphor of skipping a couple of generations of technology there. But hey, we're here. So.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah. I mean, you're involved in the day-to-day. Like, how do you think about operating day-to-day? Like we're talking about here. I mean, how do you introduce these new changes? Because I would imagine the staff might be reluctant to the changes as well.
I think the staff has always been pretty good. The changes that we've made have been pretty minor. We've got new registers and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But, I think people want to see things move forward and have new development and new things to do. But, we treat our staff, we try very hard, and I think we do a good job of treating our staff just like family. I mean, we have got people who've been working for us for, let's see, I have one manager who's been here for 40 years.
Wow.
And then it runs the gambit to anywhere from, between that and 10 years or so. I mean, our average, we have a lot of people that come and go, but we've got a core group of people who have been here for 10, 15, 20 years.
Yeah.
Who have stuck with us. So a lot of people have, they come in and get their regular order from their regular person.
Right.
I'll give a shout out to, Miss Dottie out at my Emmaus store, who's like a staple at wherever she is. People come and find her out. The staff is a great part of what makes the store and the company so good is that people come in, to see the people that they know and treat them like family. We have customers who the staff know by name and have, know their kids, and it's like, oh, how was vacation? Nice to see you again. 2 dogs. I haven't seen you in a little bit. Where's the dog today? That kind of thing.
Yeah.
They make it a great experience for their customer.
And, having staff that has been there for that long is a testament to, I think, like you said, treating them like family. But anywhere you go, if you talk to someone and the Iacocca name comes up, there's philanthropy and, giving back. And I think that's something that resonates, and that you guys are active in doing. Where does that come from, and how do you think about that?
We have had a pretty good history of giving back and being a part of the community. It's important, I think, for any business, certainly, but, especially we have been around for so long. And people, you see what they go through, you try to see what you can do to help out. It's my great grandfather obviously was an immigrant when they came over, and, you had to help out. You helped everybody out because that's how you got through stuff. And so I think that sort of mentality transferred down. So we try to do as much as we can. I don't think anybody would ever say they've done everything they can, because there's always something more out there, right?
Yeah.
But we're happy to have been a part of a couple of really good things. We partner a lot with the Mercy School for Special Learning. We work with their work programs, so those kids can come out and get some work experience. And we've done that for years and years. In fact, if you go in, you'll see one of the big things, we don't take tips or anything like that. So we have tip jars. So our customers have donated over the years over $150,000 to the school, goes straight to them.
Wow.
And we try to find places and things that people need. And if we can help out in some way, be it financially or, food donations. So you'll see a lot of times, a lot of high school meets or whatever, the snack bar might not say Yocco's, but I don't try to throw our name out there too much. I'm not really big on making sure that, I don't need a flashing sign that it's Yocco's next sort of thing, but, we try to give food to people so that they can, have their, high school snack bars or meets or whatever that kind of thing is. And as a kid, a lot of school teams were sponsored by
Well, I mean, what a better way to end a game is to go get some Yoccos or to have Yoccos there. So that's perfect.
I know we're doing a thing with one of the elementary schools in the area. They get free hot dog cards for I think it's getting honors in their school, or we do a thing with sports teams. It's I can't remember the name of it, but it's the sports team of the week, and they win and they get a hot dog party for their hot dog meal for the team. So that's always kind of fun.
We might do that at YMI if we hit our goals.
Yeah.
Can I tell a story?
Yeah, absolutely.
You might know this. I don't know if you do, but you were at the Lehigh Valley Style event, and you were there slinging dogs, and obviously they were delicious. And your dad was there. Yeah. And I didn't know the story, but I was like, hey, does the name Hanachik mean anything to you? And he goes, yeah, come here right now. I'm like, okay. He's like, do you want to hear a story? I was like, absolutely. And so he goes, my grandfather was a major league umpire, and he gave Gary's dad a ball signed by the 1955 Yankees. So Mickey Mantle, Yogi Berra. Wow. And your dad, to tell the story, used it, to play ball in the backyard, like classic Sandlot. And, he lost it. And your grandfather, to his dying day, your dad said, wouldn't let it go. And your dad got him a bat signed by the 2000 Yankees, and it never made a difference. Your grandfather still talked about that.
Oh my God. That's wild.
Yeah.
I think it's funny when you've been around this long too, the people interact. So many people that we know that cross paths, you don't even realize it.
Yeah. It is. It's funny. It's a small Lehigh Valley world.
Yeah, it really is.
So I am looking, and we're almost out of time.
Oh, wow.
I could talk about Yocco's pretty much all day, I think.
Oh, that's great.
But we're sponsored this season by Zcraft. So it is, it's a catering business. It's also a cafe where you can go, you get a cup of coffee, take a sip.
It's great.
Sometimes sip happens. And things don't go the way you planned. So, Chris, when was a time that sip happened to you?
Okay, so recently I was driving to my kid's school, actually, that and pulled up on Cedar Crest at the light, and I'm in my own head. I'm just kind of jamming away, blasting music, and I'm air drumming away in the car, and pull up right next. And I kind of look to my side and see this older lady just kind of staring at me. What is wrong with this guy sitting in the car? And sort of like, okay, I got to put the music down and
just waiting for the light to turn green. Okay. If it makes you feel any better, I have been in that situation multiple times. That means you're having a good time and enjoying yourself. Yeah. Is there anything that we didn't hit that you would want to talk about?
So, I mean, well, I could talk about Yocco's all day long.
Well, it's, we can
I just
do
want
it
to say,
unofficial.
we're so glad to be a part of this community, the Lehigh Valley. I'll tell a story that I haven't really ever told before, which is about how Yocco's almost didn't happen.
We get a breaking story here.
Maybe a little bit, yeah. When my great grandfather, came over, obviously, like I said, immigrant from Italy, and then World War II happens, right? Or I'm sorry, World War I happens. Mm-hmm. So he actually went back, as a lot of people did, go back to fight for Italy at the time.
Yeah.
And he, it was bad fighting. He had in his pocket a pocket Bible over his left breast.
Yeah.
And actually saved his life, stopped a bullet.
No.
So somewhere I've seen it. It's a little Bible, bullet hole right through the middle. Wow. And so, we're blessed because I feel like it almost couldn't happen. And from there on out, there's a million things that could have gone a different way.
Yeah. That
wouldn't have us be where we're at today, right? 104 so years later.
Yeah.
It's really a blessing and a miracle to have come this far and to have been a part of everything that we've managed to be a part of. Mm-hmm. And we're just so blessed, I think, to have that opportunity and excited to keep it going and glad to be a part of people's lives. It's great hearing stories like yours about, that your family, it's an important tradition for you. Mm-hmm. And that story, I think I've heard 1,000 times and it's great.
Yeah.
And I think that really speaks to, the legacy that Yocco's has in people's minds. And I just hope we can keep that going. And I'm very, very positive for that because it's things are going pretty well, and I'm happy to be a part of it.
That's awesome. Yeah. I mean, I have chills listening to that story.
It's wild.
I feel like that's proof that God wanted Yocco's to happen.
I think God might be a fan. Yeah, you might have a hot dog tattoo.
Take that, Potts.
Well, you can't have it. I also brought you a little swag. You can't have something.
You just made my day.
That's awesome.
In 100 years.
Shift starts at 4, by the way.
I will be there happily slinging dogs. 100 years. I mean, that's so cool. And it's a testament to kind of what you guys are doing and the culture, the atmosphere that you have created there. It resonates with people. And I can't say, enough. Thank you for coming on here. Thank you.
Oh, thank you for having me. It's been great.
Thank you
for to be included in the part of the list of Lehigh Valley people.
Are you kidding? We're shutting this podcast down. This was the whole reason I started the podcast. Was this right here?
It's a long play to get me.
Yeah. So Chris Iacocca, Yocco's. Thank you.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thanks for listening to another episode of the YMI Talking Podcast. If you enjoyed this and want to hear more content from amazing personalities in the Valley, please subscribe, leave a rating, and drop us a quick review.